Ma'am, did you always want to become a writer? What inspired you?
Did I always want to be a writer? That's such a good question. I did. So I don't think I knew that writers existed until I was about 5. I think I thought books just happened, like apples just happened on trees. But the moment I understood that writers are people who imagine things, who dream things up and write them down, then I thought that's the job for me. But also, there were other things I would have loved to do. Like I loved swimming, and I loved eating. But eating is not a job, and swimming I wasn't good enough. So my 3 favourite things were reading and eating and swimming. So that only left reading. So I thought I have to do something that involves books. And I feel very lucky that it came true. Who was second? Who has the second question?
What advice do you have for young writers?
Great question. So, advice. The most obvious one is you have to read. In the same way that if you wanted to be a football player, you'd need to know what a football looked like. If you want to be a writer, you need to know how books work. So you need to know how a book is structured and what makes...
Which of your books is your favorite and why?
That's such a difficult question. That's so hard. It's like asking someone to pick their favourite child. I think I love bits from all of them. So I think when you write a story, you often only see the bits that don't work, because you know the difference between your ideal of the story and the story that actually exists is always quite huge. The way it could have been if it was perfect and the way it actually is. But even so, there are always bits in a story that you wrote that you love. So in Rooftoppers, there's a scene where they pull a tightrope between 2 very tall buildings up above Paris at night, and they stand on the tightrope and they feed the birds from birdseed from their hands on the tightrope. And I loved writing that scene. And then in The Wolf Wilder, there's a little wolf pup, a tiny newborn pup. And it belongs to the girl, Theodora, and she carries it in her hood or down her top. And they ride through the forest. So there's a little pup, and writing about a wolf pup is always the most exciting thing. I think writing about baby animals can be really exciting because baby animals are very unpredictable. You never know what they're going to do. So I got to write about this little wolf who could make chaos happen. And it would mean that sometimes if your story is stuck, you can just add chaos. And the wolf was my little bit of chaos. So I loved writing that. And then often, really, people always say, your favourite book is the one you just finished, because you're not bored of it yet. So my most recent book, The Explorer, which will be out in August, that one has a scene where a boy flies an aeroplane out through a hole in the jungle canopy and out over the Amazon jungle. And I loved writing that, because it's never happened to me, but I would love to do it.